Hello everybody. Dietitian Taylor here with Diet versus Disease to chat about the Mediterranean diet and inflammation. So I put together a fun little package to go along with this as well. So if you want a copy, make sure you comment below that you're wanting it. Just comment Mediterranean diet package and we will make sure to get that over to you. But I wanted to tell you about what components of the Mediterranean diet play a role in managing inflammation, why I selected some of those. It's important to note that not all inflammation in our body is bad or necessarily good either. We want some inflammation. It's part of a good reaction to different types of injuries. However, if we're having consistent low-grade inflammation in our body, or a lot of the time some specialists will refer to it more so as inflammatory cycle response. And so if we're not completing that cycle, or we don't have components that help with reducing some of those inflammatory markers when they're high, and in a good amount of time. Again, if we have an instant injury, we want that inflammation to help bring it down. Low-grade inflammation that's consistent and chronic, not as good for us as well. So the components that I took into consideration when putting together this plan for you is the first being monounsaturated fats. So these are good, high quality, healthy fats. They are also really great from a cardiovascular perspective as well. It's rich in, especially extra virgin olive oil is a great example of a monounsaturated fat. It's rich in a lot of polyphenols, and it has a really balanced linolenic acid and alpha-linolenic, a little bit of a tongue twister there, acid profile. This is really beneficial for our immune system and inflammatory responses. Some of this benefit comes in to our gut mucosal lining, but also in terms of some of the components that absorb well into our body and help support our immune system and inflammatory responses. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's always anti-inflammatory, but it supports the part of our body that regulates inflammation in our body, which is great. The second component from the Mediterranean program that can be really helpful is omega-3s. There's 3 omega-3s, that's where the 3 comes from: EPA, DHA, and ALA. EPA and DHA come from a lot of fatty fish, such as salmon, trout, and tuna as well would be some examples. These have a lot of cardiovascular benefits as well, so they're really heart healthy, and they can also help with regulating inflammatory responses in our body with that EPA and DHA. Also associated with improved cognitive function as well. So there's a few other benefits outside of just inflammation and immune system benefits as well. So EPA and DHA from that fatty fish. If we're not getting it from food sources, there are sometimes other ways that we will get that in our diet, whether through supplementation, but just make sure to ask your doctor, pharmacist, or dietitian, as they can sometimes be a bit of a blood thinner and aren't always for everyone. The third, that ALA, can be found in nuts and seeds as well, and so incorporating a lot of those in can help with getting those omega-3s. The next one, you've heard me talk about it lots before. It is one I love, but it's fiber. Adequate dietary fiber is really, really helpful, and a variety of fiber. There's not one fiber that's best. We want a variety of insoluble and soluble fibers, gum fibers. They also, different types of foods with lots of rich fibers also have a lot of prebiotics that are really helpful for us as well. They're associated with improved digestive health, lower blood pressure, and reduced inflammation as well. Different amounts of fiber is good for different people. I would say most people don't get enough fiber, or they're sometimes even on the higher end depending on the person. So finding that happy medium is really important, and the right variety. Sometimes when we are managing different health conditions as well, it can be hard to know what types of fiber. So of course those that are here are often managing digestive health as well. And so finding those foods that help with our fiber and inflammation and other health concerns we perhaps have while we're low FODMAP, or if we've reintroduced and have a few FODMAPs that we're kind of still not 100% sure about, or we have a reduced threshold with, and how to incorporate fiber in other ways. Soluble fiber is going to be found in things like oats, lentils, hummus, and of course hummus and lentils are high in GOs, one of the FODMAPs. The fiber in that's helpful for our overall health is also great for glycemic control, so it helps stabilize our blood sugar. It helps prevent it from absorbing all at once and kind of spiking, and helps keep it a little bit more consistent as it slows that absorption of glucose or sugar. It also can help with managing our blood cholesterol levels, especially our unhealthy or less healthy cholesterol, VLDL cholesterol as well. And then the last one that I really focused on when putting together some of these recipes into a Mediterranean program plan for you are lots of fat-soluble antioxidants, vitamin A and vitamin E. These are vitamins that we don't always want to supplement because they're fat-soluble. We don't necessarily just pee them out if needed, so it is possible to reach toxicity. However, when we get them from food sources, and we do try to do food first where we can, it can support a lot of cellular functions of our immune system. It reduces what we call oxidative stress, so different components that circulate in our body can sometimes cause damage to our cells or oxidative stress on these cells, and these vitamins and antioxidants can help reduce that stress, and it's very useful in that inflammatory process as well. And there's lots of good evidence in different inflammatory autoimmune conditions and diseases as well. So lots of different vitamin A sources: sweet potato, carrots, salmon, and with sweet potato you just have to be cautious of your portion if you're low FODMAP. Vitamin E, again, different doses of healthy oils, nuts and seeds can also be really helpful, and then we pair them with a healthy fat. Again, a lot of those already have great healthy fats in them, and that helps increase absorption. So again, those are some of the main things that I put together when making this program with some different recipes. So if you're wanting this recipe booklet, comment and we'll make sure to send you the PDF. If you're not sure about your FODMAP triggers at this point, I do recommend you either speak to your dietitian. And as always, if you're looking for individualized help in terms of how to fit these pieces together for you, if you're managing different health conditions, you're not quite figuring out how to fit the pieces together yourself, I will also put the link to apply for one-on-one dietitian support as well. We always have that available as well. So there's the link in the comments for that as well. And comment if you're wanting our Mediterranean guide. And again, it's just kind of that jump start to give you some of that information. It's not individualized to you, so if you're wanting individualized, I would definitely recommend the one-on-one. But if not, let me know if you have any questions in the comments and I'll see what I'm able to help you out with. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you all hopefully in next week's live.